Well, it's a very warm welcome along to our independent off-tube studio commentary of this huge match in World Cup Group F between Croatia and Belgium, as Croatia, less than 8 seconds on the clock and straight from kickoff, get the ball forward to Ivan Perisic in the penalty area. He shifts it onto his right foot and whistles a strike just wide of Thibaut Courtois' goal. A fantastic start for Croatia. I'm Tom McGarry and I'm joined by Rob Eddy this afternoon. Rob, I was going to introduce the teams and go through the changes, but let's get your views on that early chance for Perisic.
I mean, it's simple, isn't it? I mean, long ball downfield, they haven't defended. Drive, not that far away, probably further away than we were giving it credit due to our angle, but I mean, what a start that could have been to this game. We know that Croatia don't need to win this game to progress. Here they go again, they're in behind. Kovacic has made the run, he's into the box, he's just held up, needs some support now, he's found some support, shot comes in, no, it's just, he faked the shot, Kramaric there, and the support comes from the right, low ball in, turned away near post. Belgium, well, they've been terrible in this World Cup, haven't they? They've been absolutely terrible. They were played off the park by Canada, outshot 21-9, somehow won that game. They were worse against that Morocco, not quite as outshot, but it was still outshot and lost 2-0. And they've just not played well at all. They need to win, I think, to progress. The pressure is on them. They haven't started well.
Yeah, we'll go through the permutations in a second, but brilliant start for Croatia, as Rob mentioned. They avoid defeat in this game. They are through and they're on the attack once again. Might be an opportunity. The ball played back by Livaya towards the edge of the penalty area, but Belgium are just about able to scramble it away. So yeah, draw or win this game, Croatia are through. They're level on points with Morocco, and the goal difference is tight, so it would probably come down to that if they both won or both drew to decide who finishes atop. For Belgium, realistically they need to win to go through. They can still get through with a draw, but they need a good goal difference swing as well, and Morocco to lose against Canada in today's other game from Group F, which we'll keep you up to date with as we commentate through this one. Still 0-0 incidentally between those two. In terms of the team news, Croatia unsurprisingly unchanged from the 4-1 victory over Canada last time out. Belgium 4 changes from that really woeful performance against Morocco. Dendoncker, Trossard, Carrasco and Mertens all come in. Onana, the two Hazards, Torgan and Eden, and Michy Batshuayi drop out. Nearly 3 minutes have been played, then Croatia 0, Belgium 0. We've had that really fast start from Croatia. Had Ivan Perisic found the back of the net there, I've just done a little bit of checking, it would have been the fastest goal in World Cup finals history. That record is held by Turkey's Hakan Suker from the third place playoff in 2002. That was in 11 seconds or thereabouts. That one from Perisic would have been inside 8. So we nearly had a perfect start, and more food for thought though, Rob, for Roberto Martinez, the Belgian boss, who is really under pressure coming into this one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the team, he's made changes for them, as he said, and who's playing well for Belgium? That's the worry. Kevin De Bruyne isn't sort of showing the form that he shows for Man City week in, week out. They just don't look like a unit, so they're not on the same wavelengths. Whether it's true or not, there's been talk of rifts in the camp. De Bruyne thinks everyone's too old. Not many would disagree. I think it's the oldest starting 11 in a World Cup this century, World Cup finals match this century. There has been a goal in the other game though, Tom.
Yeah, big goal as well. Morocco, they avoid defeat. They're through like Croatia, and they're leading Canada by 1-0. Hakim Ziyech, the Chelsea winger, scoring on 4 minutes. So they're at the top of the group at the moment, the North Africans, as Belgium looking to come forward down the left-hand side. Drop of the shoulder from Yannick Carrasco. He goes back towards Timothy Castagna. Two right-footed players incidentally playing down the left for Belgium this afternoon. Cross from Meunier on the right-hand side is cut out by Vardiol, who is sporting the protective mask to protect an old injury. But that goal for Morocco, incidentally, as I say, puts them top of the group on 7 points in the live standings. Croatia on 5, Belgium going out on 4. And what that goal means for Morocco, we said it's almost certain they would have to win anyway, but if Morocco do win, then Belgium definitely have to, which means they're going to have to go for it.
Yeah, they're going to have to go for it at some point. I mean, obviously the games could change. It's a very early goal. Belgium got the recent history over Croatia in terms of results. They won in a friendly last year, 1-0. The previous game actually was back in 2013, but Belgium won that as well. But it's just not a great start, and they've not played well in this tournament, outplayed by both Canada and Morocco. And although Croatia conceded early against Canada, in the end they were just running away with it, weren't they? Ended up 4-1. The same side that, of course, Belgium were played off the park by. I know Belgium won, but 1-0 narrow scoreline could have easily been 3 or 4 to Canada. And you just fear for Belgium for whatever reason. Obviously, if you're a Croatia fan or supporter or you back them, you'd be quite confident going into this game because all the pressure is on Belgium, particularly if they have to commit. And you've got Vertonghen and Alderweireld defending. You know, they're not as young as they used to be. Nobody is, obviously, but you know they're quite old, and so the pace isn't quite there. And you know the chances are going to come. You would have thought, but it's too early to think Belgium are going to go. You know, gung-ho right now just because Morocco are leading.
Yeah, one thing that does work in Belgium's favour is throughout the final round of group matches at this World Cup, the teams needing a draw, which is what Croatia need come into this one, have tended to struggle. Ecuador have gone out, Iran have gone out, Poland lost last night and just scraped through on goal difference, whereas the teams that know they need to win have been able to do so more often than not, and likes of Senegal and the United States have ended up going through. But 6.5 minutes on the clock in this one. It's been an entertaining start. I will quickly run you through the starting 11s. Croatia, Livakovic in goal, Juranovic, Lovren, Vardiol and Sosa the back four, Modric, Brozovic and Kovacic the midfield three, which is the envy of a lot of teams at this tournament. Then Kramaric, Livaya and Perisic playing up front. For Belgium, Courtois in goal. It looks like they've gone to a back three with Dendoncker coming into the side alongside Alderweireld and Vertonghen. Meunier and Castagna are the wing backs with De Bruyne and Witsel in the middle of the park. Trossard and Carrasco then supporting Dries Mertens up front, as Belgium look like they might have settled down now after that nervy opening to the game. Ball has ricocheted out of play though off Kevin De Bruyne, and for a Croatia throw in midway inside the Belgium half. Can Croatia build on what has been a strong start to this game for them? The Celtic fullback Josip Juranovic coming forward. He's already showcased his long throw at the start of this game. Looks like he's winding up another one from this right hand side in towards the penalty spot. It's flicked half clear by Alderweireld. De Bruyne gets his head on it as well. Meunier should be able to complete the clearance down the right hand side for Belgium. He looks up towards Dries Mertens, battling away there with Vardiol. It's the Croatian defender who comes out on top. But although the game's settled down a little bit, Rob, it's still Croatia looking the more proactive of the two sides.
Yeah, they're looking quite relaxed. I mean, obviously the pressure in a sense is off them. Obviously if Belgium score, that might well change, but they're arguably in a must-win game against Canada in the last match, because I guess we all thought Belgium were going to win. But they came through unscathed, as it turns out. I mean, it has settled down, like you say. Belgium are offering some kind of threat, and so it was just a blistering start from Croatia, wasn't it? But I mean, what sort of Belgium side is this? Eden Hazard, arguably their best ever player, he's not starting. Romelu Lukaku not starting. Is he fit? Should he have been brought? Why aren't they risking him? This kind of stuff. And what does it say about Michy Batshuayi? So if this starting 11 doesn't do it for Belgium, can they bring on the players to turn it around? A draw's no good for them as things stand. They might be relying on Canada doing them a favour.
Yeah, at the moment Canada are not trailing Morocco by 1-0, but this is a good spell of possession for Belgium. It's Carrasco down the left hand side looking to cut in field away from Juranovic. He gets a shot away, but it's blocked reasonably well. The Croatian midfielder is Brozovic coming across, and they've cleared up towards Livaya on the halfway line, but a little bit better from Belgium going forward. As Rob mentioned, it's an ageing Belgium side, on average the oldest squad in the tournament. Lots of players over the age of 30, and potentially, if Belgium do go out in this game, playing in their last international match, as Witsel, one of those candidates, perhaps links up with another in Toby Alderweireld, who sends a Diagonal ball forward. It's a good attempted pass as well, but it's a really important piece of defending from Dejan Lovren, one of the elder statesmen in Croatia's team, at full stretch, cutting out that pass from Alderweireld. Had he not been there, Dries Mertens would have had a really good chance on goal.
Yeah, you just wonder if Croatia, I mean, they wouldn't have heard about the other goal. They might be just playing for a draw, because it was such a fast start. You just thought they looked there for the taking, Belgium. But credit to the Red Devils, they're coming back into it, they're offering a threat. And at the moment, I'd say this game is pretty even, as Perisic is just caught off a side. I mean, at form this year, you'd probably side with Croatia coming into it. Croatia topped a Nations League group that included France and Denmark. Now, I know Denmark hasn't quite worked out, but you know, France has. They're many people's favourites now after the people's favourites, not everyone's obviously, but people's favourites after their opening two performances. Whereas Belgium struggled against the likes of Netherlands and Wales even. Here come Belgium again, though. They sprung the offside. Mertens with the ball into the far post. Carrasco is just forced a little bit wide. Still has an opportunity. No, it's blocked behind for a corner. Juranovic getting in the way. That could have been key for Belgium. They are starting to cause problems now.
Yeah, Belgium, I don't know where Croatia's left-back Borna Sosa was, but he was high up the pitch and they were caught out. The Croatians on that side. Dries Mertens getting in behind, and it's a good ball into the 6-yard box. Carrasco just can't get there quickly enough. Once he gets it under control, he's been forced wide, and you know, as you say, Rob, blocked behind by Juranovic for the game's first corner. But much better from Belgium. It's going to be Dries Mertens, the man who created that opportunity to take this corner. He stands it up towards the far post. It's not the best delivery, easily headed away by that man Juranovic once again, and Belgium are forced all the way back to Thibaut Courtois deep inside his own half. The goalkeeper will angle the left-footed ball out to the right-hand side, where De Bruyne and Modric, the two magicians, if you like, in this team, are jostling. It's Modric who comes out on top on this occasion as the ball drops to Kramaric, and now Brozovic out to Luka Modric on the left-hand side as well. Of course, we're speculating that one or two Belgian players might be playing in their last international match. The same could be said for Croatia if they were to lose this game. The likes of Modric and Lovren, it'd be a surprise certainly to see Modric again in an international shirt after this World Cup. Brozovic now in the middle of the park, flicks it away from Kevin De Bruyne, back to Vardiol and out to Sosa on the left-hand side. Modric is there in support as well. Modric takes over, fires it out to Kramaric, the scorer of a brace against Canada in Croatia's last game. Kovacic now to Modric once again on that left-hand side, with Sosa involved as well. Sosa will work it back to Kovacic, who switches it out to the right, and Croatia enjoying a good period of possession inside Belgium's half. Juranovic with a decent looking cross into the box, stooping header away by Alderweireld, and now some nice link-up play between Meunier and De Bruyne could get Belgium on the charge. De Bruyne, he's got Mertens to his left, he's got Trossard to his right, he finds Dries Mertens in space inside the penalty area, but it's a really poor finish from Mertens. He's trying to curl it into the far corner, he gets it all wrong.
He should hit the target there. I mean, this is probably the best that Belgium can do. They want Kevin De Bruyne running in open space. He's got beyond the Croatian midfield. Modric is doing his best to get back, but he hasn't quite got the pace. And I know I'm not saying he should score here, but he's got so far underneath that, under no pressure at all, Mertens. He's got to be working the keeper. It couldn't have been put more on a plate for him to test out Livakovic in the Croatian goal. And if we thought the Croatia start was good, then Belgium are just starting to get on top. They've seen a lot more of the ball. That's as good a chance as we've had. It was a clearer opportunity than the Perisic one early doors for Croatia. This game could go either way. One of them looks like they're going home at the end of today. As things stand, Morocco only leading by a goal to nil, but I wouldn't rule out. I mean, I kind of wrote off Belgium, didn't I, at the start, but I wouldn't rule them out after that chance. It's a pretty good chance.
Yeah, it certainly was. Mertens, you could see the anguish on his face as soon as he made contact with the ball. He knew he got it all wrong. He should have, at the very least, been testing Dominik Livakovic in the Croatia goal. At the other end, though, Croatia have forced a free kick on the left-hand side. Perfect position for Luka Modric to look to lift this into the penalty area. Belgium holding a high line on the D of the box, but Modric sends the ball in. It's well defended by Vertonghen initially for Belgium. Croatia have a player down in the middle, and Anthony Taylor, the A referee he's pointed to the spot, in fact, Anthony Taylor. He's given a penalty. It was Kramaric who went down in the middle. Belgium can't believe the decision. I must admit, Rob, I didn't spot anything too obvious there, but the referee has, and for the time being at least, unless VAR intervenes, it's a penalty to Croatia.
Yeah, I think it's going to be offside. They did look offside. I suppose Kramaric didn't actually make contact with the ball, but the problem there, I think, was... has Carrasco touched Kramaric, who was offside in the build-up? Now, I don't think he's touched him personally. I'm not giving this as a penalty. I didn't think they'd give Messi's penalty last night, but they did. I don't know what VAR looks at these days. I don't think there's minimal contact. He's motioned to tackle him. I think he's missed man and ball. They've given the penalty. VAR doesn't look like it's overturning it. I don't think that's a good decision. I think that's a terrible decision, but Croatia have got a penalty. Modric is stepping up to take it.
Yeah, Luka Modric, looks like VAR is not going to intervene. I, like you, Rob, think there was no contact there from Carrasco. It was a bit of a wild swing of the leg, but he didn't hit Kramaric, who went down rather theatrically, and I think he's won that penalty more than anything else. It does look like it's going to stand, though, with Modric over the ball to step up and take this right-footed penalty. Actually, there is a check going on. The camera has panned to Anthony Taylor. We're bringing you independent off-tube studio commentary of this Group F clash. Huge moment in this game and in the context of the group as well. Luka Modric being made to wait to see if he will be allowed to take this penalty. Of course, you mentioned as well, Kramaric looked like he was offside from the initial ball in, so there's two potential reasons why this could and perhaps should be not awarded, and in fact Anthony Taylor is going to go over to the monitor to have a double check himself.
Well, I think if anybody looks at this tackle, let's forget about the offside for a moment. I think if you look at that tackle, it's not a penalty. He's not touched him. That's my opinion from looking at a slow-mo. Now, Kramaric is offside from the initial free kick. Lovren's shoulder might just be threatening to be offside. Now, if you want to argue that Kramaric didn't get the first ball and therefore it's a second phase, that's something else. But, I think Anthony Taylor should be looking at the penalty and just go, that is not a penalty because he hasn't touched him. That's what I think should be happening. But they seem to be looking at an offside call here, and it's got to be Lovren, not Kramaric, because Kramaric, it was over his head. He didn't interfere with the first ball. They're putting shoulder to shoulder, and the line, they're both on the same line. So I don't know if they can call this offside.
Yeah, and it is going to be overruled, and the free kick is given. I don't understand that, though, because aren't the offsides checked by VAR and the technology? The referee doesn't normally check offsides, but that looks like what he's come over to do, Anthony Taylor. He was looking at the lines. It looked like they were all level, potentially Lovren just off. This is offside is the reason why the penalty has been overhauled, but that seems all a little strange to me. They've came to the right decision, the officials, it would seem, but I didn't think that was necessarily the process that they were supposed to go through with VAR.
No, I wasn't sure either. I suppose Anthony Taylor might have been said, do you think Kramaric is interfering or something? He got it maybe even third phase. I think it's a good decision ultimately. Whether they've not got about it the right way, because I don't think offside's relevant as they break again Croatia.
Yeah, Juranovic in space down the right-hand side, cross into the box, deflects to the far post. We're battling for the ball. I think it was Kovacic coming in. Belgium are able to scramble the ball clear, but Croatia feeling disappointed they may be that penalty decision has been overturned, but they're not resting on their laurels as Sosa takes the throw-in quickly back to Vardiol on the halfway. Now Dejan Lovren, former Liverpool player, back across to Josko Vardiol, who's the up-and-coming centre-back in this Croatia squad, keeping Domagoj Vida out the team at this World Cup. Vida was such an imperative player to Croatia's run to the final in 2018, as was Modric, who puts a dangerous ball into the box from the right-hand side, cleared away by Meunier. Belgium playing on the counter-attack at the moment, and they're looking to come forward once more. Trossard finds Mertens. Oh, it's a really slap ball from Dries Mertens. He was trying to get it back into Trossard, but presented it straight to Brozovic, who's covered more ground than anyone over the opening 2 rounds of fixtures at this World Cup, the Inter Milan midfielder. Modric then just squeezed out of things and has to settle for a throw-in, but wasteful there, Belgium, on the counter-attack with Mertens.
Well, I mean, he's been brought into this side, hasn't he? He's missed a sitter, and that was just poor, wasn't it? He's giving it away. They're trying to threaten. They're showing us the 3D image now. It's independent optic studio commentary of the offside. I mean, how can he give that as offside? They drew lines on the pitch, and they're on the same line, so he was level. And the 3D didn't offer any clarification. But, I mean, I just don't think it was a penalty. I think, in a way, somebody said, let's not give this penalty because clearly hasn't touched him.
Yeah, there's two grey areas and the offside's a bit of an out for them. It does look like they were dead level. Lovren and the deepest Belgian defender. As Kovacic bringing the ball forward now for Croatia, switching it out towards the right-hand side. The intended target was Kramaric, but it's cut out by Timothy Castagna. Belgium don't keep the ball for long, however. It's flicked forward by Juranovic. Modric takes over into the feet of Brozovic. Space on the left-hand side for Perisic, who's got both arms in the air, asking for the ball. He will get it, the Tottenham full-back, who plays a lot further forward in this Croatia team. He's looking to take on Thomas Meunier down the left-hand side. Digs out a decent cross. Kramaric will keep it alive at the far post, up against Castagna, twisting one way, then the other. Castagna stands up well, though, and puts a toe in to turn it out of play for a throw. 21 minutes on the clock. Croatia 0, Belgium 0, but it's Croatia. Remember, they're a side that only need a point to go through. Belgium realistically need to win this game, but it's Croatia, the team on the front foot and asking the majority of the questions in this game. Juranovic with the long throw into the box. Witsel gets his head to it for Belgium. De Bruyne nods it a little bit further, clearing up to Mertens, who battles well to retain possession. In fact, it's Trossard who does a really good job of holding the ball up. Now finds Witsel. Belgium can look to bring the ball forward from defence. Castagna playing on the left-hand side of the back four today. To Witsel once more, and now Toby Alderweireld. They could do with this little period, Belgium, just on the ball, moving it around and regrouping after the controversy surrounding the penalty call, I should say. Carrasco gets a throw in down the left-hand side, but it is interesting the way they're set up, because you'd think Croatia are the side that need to win this, and Belgium are sitting back playing for the point, the way this game's been set up.
Yeah, I mean, I think Croatia just playing with that little bit of confidence, and maybe it's a bit frenetic from Belgium. We weren't sure if Dendoncker was going to play in a back three, were we, at the start? I mean, I suppose it's interchangeable, but he just seems to be in perhaps a midfield position, freeing the likes of Witsel and De Bruyne. Probably don't want De Bruyne with defensive responsibilities in a game that they need to win, but it's taken them a while to settle down. I mean, the problem for Belgium is the defence doesn't look solid, does it? Courtois bailed them out against Canada, who did miss a penalty, let's not forget that. And Courtois didn't bail them out against Morocco, and we don't know if Courtois is going to bail them out today, because that back four just looks creaky, and at the moment I don't have any confidence in their forward players. Batshuayi, Lukaku's not fit, and Dries Mertens missed the sitter, so I think it's favouring Croatia at the moment.
Yeah, Croatia coming forward once again down the left-hand side. That attempted ball through is cut out by Alderweireld. Huge goal in the other game in Group F. Morocco are now 2-0 up against Canada. Youssef En-Nesyri adding to the earlier goal from Hakim Ziyech. So it looks like Morocco will be making it through to the knockout stages of the World Cup for the first time since 1986, barring a collapse in that game against Canada, which also means it's a straight shootout between the two sides we are watching. Croatia a draw enough for them to go through. Belgium will need to go all out for the victory. It is Croatia 0, Belgium 0. I'll hand you over to Rob as we go beyond the midway point in this first half. We'll take you through to the break.
And it's still anybody's at the moment. Cheers, Tom. Morocco 2-0 up, and of course you would think Morocco are going to see that out, having blanked Croatia and Belgium, something Canada weren't able to do. And they did score early against Croatia, but ended up conceded 4. So you'd think Morocco have got the 3 points on the board. That means that a draw for Croatia we'll see them progress, obviously, which I guess is the important thing, but only as group runners up. Belgium have possession though on the halfway line, right hand side. Trossard, he did turn momentarily, but then plays it back to Alderweireld inside the Belgian half. Trossard will get it again. He's had most of his joy for Brighton this season on the left. Scored some goals, of course, for the Seagulls. Playing on the right with Carrasco on the left so far in this setup. I say he's playing on the right. He's very deep at the moment as he picks it up in the centre circle and floats a nice ball out to Dries Mertens. Nominally the forward. Back to Witsel, 25 yards out, lining up a shot, charged down at the edge of the box. Probably didn't quite catch it as cleanly as he might have done. And then a cool header back from Croatia to the keeper Perisic it was, from a very central position, maybe 25 yards out. You just wonder whether Croatia might just use the draw to prevent their fluency or attacking impetus. They might think a draw's good enough, so let's sit back. I'm not sure how Croatia are going to play it. They've shown no signs of sitting back so far.
Yeah, it seems like certainly in this first half they're going to go for it and play it like any other game. They're the better side in all truth so far in this one, looking to come forward again with Perisic down the left. He's stopped in his tracks, as is Kovacic, by a couple of good challenges. But yeah, Croatia, for now, they're looking like they're going for it. If it's still 0-0 and Morocco are still winning in the other game going into the final half an hour or so, that's where we might see Zlatko Dalic's side sit back and where Belgium might start to dominate.
Croatia on the attack, left-hand side. Sosa tries to feed it into Perisic. So they're coming together, Perisic and Meunier. And I think it's come off Meunier last, so this could very well be the first corner of the game on the Croatia left. And obviously the likes of Lovren and Gvardiol will come up from the back. Not exactly low in the box at the moment. Delivery's got to be key. Try and talk up set pieces, and of course what invariably follows is a ball that doesn't beat the man at the near post, but there are certainly options for Croatia to try and target. 5 in the box and a couple of others lurking just outside. Modric with the delivery, headed clear though by Witsel. He wasn't quite first man, but it was behind everybody from Modric. Witsel running away from goal, headed it well away from danger. Croatia pick up possession near the halfway line. Ball down the channel, nobody's made the run. That's going to bounce into touch for a Belgian throw, maybe 15, 18 yards from their corner flag right hand side. And well, Belgium should have possession, although that's a hurried clearance and sliced somewhat by Alderweireld. So it's a throw into Croatia in almost the same spot. They've actually taken it a little bit nearer the halfway line just so they can get it back into play to a man in space, Gvardiol, who gets it back off Lovren. Now down the left, it's with Perisic. Sosa ran ahead of him, but the pass is played back to Lovren, who switches it over to the right with Juranovic looking for Levanja downfield, but Witsel got in the way, heads it clear, touch, throw in to Croatia on the halfway line. And they will build again. Pace of the game has just slowed down a fraction. Maybe Croatia just biding the time. That's a break from Belgium leading to the Mertens chance a few minutes ago. Might just have tempered some enthusiasm. Yeah, and potentially they've learned what the score is in the other game with Morocco leading by 2-0. That just puts the pressure on Croatia a little bit more as well, because they definitely can't afford to slip up in this one. There was a scenario where they could lose, and if Morocco lost, Croatia would still go through. So might just force them to sit back a little bit further. And for Belgium as well, I mean, it's still the same really. They have to win this, but they don't have to go for the jugular, do they? Belgium in this first half, they can sit and bide their time. It feels like it might be a cagey final 15-20 minutes or so of this first period, but then the fireworks can potentially start in the second half. Doesn't happen often, but Luka Modric has been caught offside. Nice dummy from Kramaric, but Modric hadn't quite returned into a good an onside position, so it was a free kick to Belgium, although they haven't kept the ball for very long. Now it's Gvardiol who has possession again for Croatia. Lovren goes back to Livakovic, who invites Mertens to close him down before he clears downfield. The Tongan has it on the halfway line for Belgium though. The The Red Devils, who have created a very good chance in this game, now finally have some possession back. They haven't seen much of it in the last 5 minutes or so. Perisic is trying to force an error high up the pitch, and that might just force Vertonghen to go back to Courtois, and he does. And Belgium will begin again. If you didn't know, with Morocco winning, Belgium have to win or they're out. Croatia can draw and still go through. They go through as runners-up. Croatia need to win to top the group if Morocco maintain that advantage over Canada. And Belgium, of course, the number 2 ranked side, somehow still in the FIFA standings, as they're on the attack down the right-hand side with Meunier, but it wasn't a great first touch, and he has to go back to Witsel on the halfway line. As we enter the 31st minute, bright start from Croatia, who still look possibly the side in the ascendancy without really dominating the contest, certainly not in terms of chances. Carrasco has it on the left for the Red Devils. Trossard back to Vertonghen, across to Alderweireld, and chances drying up. That would obviously suit Croatia. It depends if somebody, you'd think there's enough quality on this field to get a goal, but obviously pretty solid defensive quality from what we've seen from Croatia in specifically, I guess, as Brozovic wins the ball back for Croatia, but then Carrasco does exactly that for Belgium. Now it's with Dendoncker infield to Witsel. Trossard's come deep again. He seems to have something of a free roll for Roberto Martinez's side. Dries Mertens is playing on the left, and he has been doing that a lot. Not a great ball in though from Mertens, and Croatia have possession back, working it out to the right hand side with Kramaric coming infield to Brozovic. There is an overlap on the left if Croatia can work it out there, and they do, with Kovacic joining Sosa and Perisic to try and create the space. Brozovic up in support. As Tom mentioned, after 2 matches anyway, of all teams, he'd run the most. But Kovacic probably wasn't too far behind him. And I doubt Modric slows up for Croatia either, despite his advancing years. It's quite an impressive midfield.
On paper, it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? And it's been fantastic for a good number of years. I mean, Modric, 37 now. I mean, there's a theme at this World Cup, isn't there, with players in their 30s, perhaps playing at their last finals, and 1 or 2 of them looking slightly past their best, shall we say. But Modric, evergreen at 37, he's still as fantastic as ever. Yeah, still playing for Real Madrid at the highest level, as well as it's Croatia on the attack with Perisic, left edge of the box, onto his right foot, doesn't shoot, comes infield to Brozovic, onto his left, his shot charged down by Dendoncker. Gvardiol works it quickly out to Sosa on the left as Croatia try and maintain the pressure. Cross comes in, heads go up, and it's over the bar, wide of the post. Probably not quite in control of that one. I'm not sure Courtois had it covered, but he didn't look overly worried, and it's behind for a goal kick. Yeah, I think it's one of those that ends up going a little bit closer than Thibaut Courtois was perhaps initially thinking. He certainly looked very cool. The Belgian number 1, I think it was Levaille, who got his head up at the far post and just couldn't quite direct it on target. Another warning sign, though, for Belgium. You feel like Croatia have had more of it in Belgium's defensive third and have had probably more efforts towards the goal, but Belgium still have had that standout opportunity through Mertens. They're under pressure to clear the lines, Belgium, at the moment, but it's not quite a full press from Croatia, and Meunier was the man creating the overlap, and now Croatia just retreated into their defensive positions towards the halfway line, and it's more comfortable possession for Belgium. Very few clear-cut opportunities. Perisic obviously fizzed one just beyond the post after, did we say 8 seconds in the game? That could have been the real deflator for Belgium, who are heading out of the competition as things stand. But then Dries Mertens has probably missed the best chance of the game for Belgium, blazing over after being set up by Kevin De Bruyne. And Belgium haven't quite got their cheap playmaker fully involved in this game. Maybe Croatia have just done a good job marking him out of it. Trossard's probably been the most influential or available Belgian at the moment. Obviously he hasn't quite fashioned the opening
that is required. Belgium need to score. It's still 0-0. Both Batshuayi and Lukaku, well, I think they're on the bench. Not selected today, of course. Eden Hazard is another option. He didn't look in great nick against Morocco, of course. Not many Belgians did, to be truthful. But here is Witsel bringing it forward for the Red Devils. Edge of the box. He's played it out to Carrasco, left edge, who's now having a run cross towards the far post. Sosa heads clear. Kept alive by De Bruyne, away by Lovren. And then Trossard works it out to Meunier right hand side. So a bit of pressure from Belgium. And high hanging ball to the far post. Hands go up, an apology from Meunier because it was far too high, far too long. It's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a poor delivery for Meunier. He had so much time just to assess his options and clip it into a dangerous area, but he overhit it badly. And again, just a lack of quality from Belgium. You feel like they're missing a Romelu Lukaku, a focal point up front. There's a lot of interchange in between Mertens and Trossard and Yannick Carrasco as well, but they're similar kinds of players. They're technical players. None of them are particularly fast, certainly anymore, and they certainly don't have that physical presence that someone like Lukaku would be able to provide.
All over the top from De Bruyne, that's very ordinary given what we've seen from him in the Premier League, and nowhere near Carrasco, and it's chested back to Livakovic by Juranovic, and Croatia start again. I would say Anthony Taylor hasn't had too much to do, but the one thing he had to do, he's made a bit of a mess of. I don't think it was a penalty, and I don't think any amount of replays are going to convince me it was. Not that my opinion is what matters, but I think that's a big call that he got wrong. Bailed out by an offside. Belgium have won the ball back out of the pitch. An opportunity. Trossard drives to the edge of the box. Can't quite find a teammate. The ricochet might come to Mertens. No, it doesn't. It was Perisic who scrambled clear. Croatia felt Modric was fouled in conceding possession. No free kick was given. Now Croatia try and break as Kramaric has it right hand side. The support is slow in coming on this particular occasion, but he is allowed to turn. Now tries to switch play over to Perisic, who's got a job on to try and keep it in. I don't think he has done. Belgium are appealing, and finally their appeals are heard. Throw in to Belgium. I would say Croatia are just starting to find themselves a little bit deeper. Kramaric picked up the ball there, and he's waiting forever for support.
Yeah, we've speculated, haven't we, throughout this first half? What point will it be if it stays 0-0 that Croatia do start sitting back? And maybe it's just creeping in at the moment, potentially because half-time is kind of in sight. In this World Cup, we've probably got a good 5 or 10 minutes of stoppage time to come after the 45-minute mark, but maybe there's just that feeling from Croatia. They want to get in at 0-0 at the break, regroup, get some energy drinks on and things like that, so they can go again. But at the moment they've just gone a little bit flat, and it's allowed Belgium to start creeping more and more into the game. About
7.5 minutes to go to the end of 45 minutes. There haven't been many stoppages other than the VAR check for the penalty stroke offside. There haven't been any injuries. I mean, really, there hasn't been any fouls, has there? There's been no free kicks to speak of. Obviously, defence is largely on top. Obviously, there's been the odd chance here and there. It's still 2-0 to Morocco, incidentally. I suppose that's only going to become interesting if Canada get one back. The focus is very much on Croatia against Belgium. Winner goes through. If there isn't a winner, Croatia will go through, of course. So Belgium know what they've got to do. There's still plenty of time left in this game. Not the first half. It's perhaps not as bad as other games. I thought they were very ordinary. Against Canada in the first half, somehow had a lead, but things didn't improve much after the break. But they're very much in this contest. They've obviously had a good chance, as Brozovic has won a free kick in the centre circle for Croatia. And I don't really know what happened against Morocco, but I would say this is an improvement against a better side than the two of those.
Yeah, on paper certainly Croatia are the toughest side other than Belgium in the group. This was always being billed as the match to decide who finishes top in the section, not who can qualify along with Morocco as it currently stands. So you got to give credit to Morocco. They played really well against Belgium as well, but it's been a disappointing World Cup so far for Belgium. It feels like they've raised their game slightly for this one, but at the moment it could potentially be too little too late. The quality in the game is just completely dropped in the last 5-10 minutes, particularly from Croatia, and it has gone very scrappy and a little bit flat.
Yeah, his chances were at a premium anyway, but they've long since dried up, really. Belgium have got possession, but they're inside their own half. As I say, time isn't a factor, but doesn't necessarily look at Denmark. They seem to be controlling things against Australia, but things actually got worse after the break, not just because Australia scored. Australia threatened more goals, and Denmark never looked like they were going to get a goal as the ball is played over the top for Belgium. It's Trossard trying to get in behind Lovren. He got a toe on the ball, couldn't control it, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. Maybe they would have covered it anyway. I can tell you that things might be being shaken up in the other game. I said it wouldn't get interesting unless Canada score. Canada apparently have scored, and that means that Morocco, first goal they've conceded, might not get the free or the easy passage that we thought. So obviously Canada have impressed to a degree in this tournament without actually winning. They were certainly unlucky against Belgium. They got a good start against Croatia, but unable to see it through. I'll try and get you that goal scorer. But of course, Morocco is still leading, so it does mean that it's changed nothing in the sense that Belgium need to win. It's Aguerd who got the goal. Well, he didn't get the goal, he's put into his own net, so Canada are on the score sheet. Haven't scored in the World Cup finals before this tournament. Alphonso Davies, I think that was just a little after a minute, wasn't it, against Croatia. That was the first Canadian goal in World Cup finals. They've got a second, albeit from the help of Morocco. Belgium, lots of possession. It's all on the halfway line. They're not really threatening. I'd have to say, though, they are controlling this game in the sense that Croatia aren't seeing any of the ball now. Half-time is approaching. They're gradually making progress, feeding out to Meunier on the right, and De Donker's made the run. He's got to the byline, goes round his man, towed in towards the near post from Dries Mertens. He didn't get enough, or he got too much. Either way, his shot didn't hit the target. His pullback was too far in front of teammates. Free kick as Lavaggia jumps into Vertonghen. Referees played the advantage. A semblance of an opening.
Yeah, it was. It was good play by Den Donker, getting high up the field for the first time in the game. The Aston Villa man, quick feet to get to the byline and pulled it back, as you say, maybe just in front of Dries Mertens. That's if I'm being generous. It looked like it was one he could get to. He's tried to open up and side-foot it into the corner of the net, and just it glances off his foot, doesn't get the required contact he was looking for, and it has to go down as another decent opportunity for Belgium, and at least the second one that Mertens has had himself.
Yeah, it's a tough angle to score from, but of course it might have sneaked in. Of course, I think it was Carrasco far post. He probably wasn't expecting the ball to make its way through there, and of course he didn't react to it, so the chance gone. But again, just building up the pressure just as half-time is approaching. It's taken a while for Belgium to actually get on top in this game, and as I say, a lot of their possession is in their own halfway line anyway, so it's not as if they're piling on the pressure. They do have a throw-in, but it's inside their own half. Eventually it's taken into midfield to Witsel, over to Alderweireld. Plays it into Dries Mertens, out to Meunier. Poor touch from Meunier, but Alderweireld does get there ahead of Perisic. Belgium ultimately forced to go back in possession to Den Donker. Still haven't quite worked out if he's playing in midfield or a back three, but of course he did play his part in the last attack for Belgium, so it could be a sort of free roll that he's got. He looks like he's in midfield to me, as that's a rather hopeful ball from Belgium out towards Carrasco, over his head, into touch. We've got less than 2 minutes of the opening 45. Do you know what? I think Croatia are sitting back.
Yeah, I agree. You know, there's just a feeling brewing up. They might end up regretting that. Just the way Belgium is starting to feel their way into the game, building some momentum. Half-time might come at the wrong time for Roberto Martinez's side, but this is a dangerous game that Croatia are playing, because they can defend and keep Belgium out, as a cross comes in from De Bruyne that forced Livakovic to react smartly down to his left-hand side. But they can defend as well as they like, Croatia, but if we get to 85, 86 minutes and Belgium nick one, then they're leaving themselves with a lot to do to try and scrape into the knockout stages.
Yeah, and it's dangerous for the likes of Kevin De Bruyne on the field. Dries Mertens has had quite an ineffective starts, but he is, I suppose, making the runs into decent positions, which is something. But obviously Belgium running out of time in this first half. Croatia started well, but have slowly kind of lost the energy to get forward, or desire to overcommit at least. They are, as I say that, on the attack down the right hand side with Kramaric infield to the edge of the box. Brozovic's ball, well, there's a no look. It's lucky that it's ricocheted off two defenders to come back to him. Now it's De Sousa, he goes for goal. Courtois looks less interested than the other effort a few minutes ago. Over the bar, behind for a goal kick, and 45 minutes is about to tick over. 45 minutes left then, depending on how much stoppage time is added on at the end of this first half, for Belgium to save their World Cup. 4 minutes? Was that a 4-minute VAR check?
I think it's got to be, hasn't it? I can't think of any other stoppages in the first half. No one's needed to receive treatment that I recall. I suppose it was a reasonable lengthy stoppage because Modric was standing over the ball. Wasn't he about to take the penalty for a good 90 seconds or so? Then we had Anthony Taylor come over to the sideline, look at the monitor, see 3 or 4 replays. It probably is 4 minutes, and we know FIFA at this World Cup are wanting to add the time on to the letter, and that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Well, there's 4 minutes left. Well, just a little over 3 as ball's played over the top, trying to get Trossard in behind. It didn't look a bad ball. The space was there, but the pass overhit, bounces through to Livakovic, and Croatia have possession back. It'll be interesting to see what changes or how the two coaches send their side out in the second half, because it was a pretty positive start from Croatia in the sense that they don't need to win. It's not been a positive end. Belgium have grown into the game a little bit more without being gung-ho. Of course, they only need to win 1-0. That will do. So, I'm not expecting the kitchen sink, as a throw-in from Croatia comes to nothing. Didn't really have much room, and it's cleared away by Castagnier. Headed back into the Belgium half, and Modric got there first. Kramaric, who's playing behind Modric at the moment, tries to work a 1-2 with the Real Madrid man. The return pass just a little bit heavy, skips away off the turf into touch. Throw into Belgium inside their own half with 2 minutes left of stoppage time. The other game, incidentally, is still Canada 1 at Morocco 2, but looking a little bit better for both of these sides, I guess, that it's only a 1-goal lead. But they can get the job done themselves by winning. But neither keeper really has been tested. The efforts that we've had have been off target, and of course the penalty got overturned. Carrasco down the left pulls it back towards the 6-yard box. Dejan Lovren's there for Croatia, and Modric should at least clear his line. Shows a real composed head there, although the pass downfield wasn't great onto the head of Witsel. Then there's a fight for the second ball, and De Bruyne's come away with it. His nutmeg didn't work, and now Croatia have it back. Is there one last opportunity? Kovacic striding from midfield, clipped by Dendoncker. I thought he was playing for that Kovacic, but Anthony Taylor was giving it. Free kick to Croatia on the halfway line. He was just clipped there, and there's a little over a minute to go.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a lazy dangling leg, wasn't it, from Dendoncker, inviting Kovacic to go down. He was running up a bit of a cul-de-sac. Sosa with a cross into the box from the left-hand side for Croatia, well dealt with by Vertonghen. But yeah, we mentioned it 5 to 10 minutes ago, Croatia have been playing for half-time for quite some time. They want to go in and regroup. Yeah, Belgium, I think they might need to tweak something. We don't know how fit Romelu Lukaku is. We know he's had such little game time in the build-up to this World Cup. Couple of cameo appearances so far. If he's got half an hour, if he's got 45 minutes in him, I think Roberto Martinez is going to have to take that gamble.
Seconds left at the end of the first half. Croatia have possession in the Belgian half. They do have a few bodies downfield, but Belgium, of course, well set up defensively, in theory at least, as the ball is played to Kramaric, right edge of the box, who hooks it in first time. It's behind the first man, and Perisic arriving late. Bounce didn't help it. Sosa's kept it alive, left edge, his cross, charged up in the air rather. Is that a foul on Witsel? Shot comes out from Modric, he can't keep it down, high and wide. In fact, that was Juranovic in a very advanced position, and that is the final attack going the way of Croatia. Half time, Croatia heading through to the knockouts. It's 0-0. That's all that Croatia need. Belgium need to win.
Croatia 0, Belgium 0 at the break. Croatia were nearly in front after 8 seconds through Ivan Perisic. Belgium's best opportunities have come via Dries Mertens, but the big moment of the half was midway through it when Croatia were awarded a penalty by referee Anthony Taylor for a proposed foul by Carrasco on Kramaric. Didn't look like much contact. VAR intervened, but they didn't rule it out for a lack of contact. They actually ruled it out for an offside against Dejan Lovren. 0-0 at the break.
he didn't quite give him the shout, and Lukaku's just getting everybody out of the way to get a header on the ball. I think that's the first effort on target in the game, so I mean already he's had some kind of impact. He was never going to score, the angle wasn't great, and he couldn't get any power in his header anyway, but already an effort on the goal with 3 minutes on the clock in the second half. And I have to say, I don't think Croatia looked overly solid there. It was a kind of scramble clearance for the corner in the first place. So I think this World Cup group is still very much there for the taking.
Kovacic driving forward now for Croatia down the left-hand side. He's got support coming his way in the form of Perisic. Perisic darting one way, then the other, pulls it back for Kovacic once more. Brozovic also getting involved on the edge of the Belgian penalty area. Vardiol's striding forward from defence, and he plays a nice ball into Kovacic. Curling effort, tipped fantastically over the top of the crossbar by Thibaut Courtois, and now both these teams have had a shot on target.
Yeah, decent strike. Former teammates maybe. Courtois was a little bit too early at Chelsea, but he's hit the target, needed work. It's a much harder save than the one moments ago from Livakovic. Having said that, if Courtois is letting that one in, you're probably going to criticise him for it. But it is a corner, so just as I said, they looked a little bit suspect at the back. They've gone straight down the other end, tested Courtois, got a set piece.
Yeah, the work did short between Kovacic and Modric. Modric will now lift it into the area. Lukaku back in his own box, heads it clear, and Sosa from the edge of the box with a rather wild swing of his left boot that goes way over the top of the crossbar. I think that Kovacic and Courtois might have actually played with each other at Real Madrid rather than Chelsea. Not even a crossover there. They certainly, you'd imagine at some stage or other, would have been in the same team. I'll quickly run you through the 11s as well as starting this second period. Croatia, as I mentioned, unchanged from the break. Livakovic in goal, Juranovic, Lovren, Vardiol and Sosa the back four, Modric, Brozovic and Kovacic in the middle of the park with Kramaric and Perisic supporting Livaya up front. Belgium coming forward with Carrasco down the left-hand side into Lukaku. De Bruyne, edge of the area, twisting, turning wildly, sends a left foot effort over the top of the crossbar. But again, intent showing by the Red Devils. They've got Courtois in goal and Alderweireld, Vertonghen, the two central defenders, Meunier and Castagna either side of them. De Donker is in the midfield along with De Bruyne and Witsel, with Trossard and Carrasco now supporting the half-time substitute Romelu Lukaku up front. We had, Rob, quite a fast start to the first half and it faded away, but hopefully we can sustain these levels because it's been a good opening 4 or 5 minutes in this second period.
Yeah, both sides getting bodies forward. Obviously Lukaku might not be fit, but already he's made a difference. Essentially, he's not going to be bullied off the ball. They hit it up to him, they can play off him. That's not what was happening in the first half. Now, they're not the same kind of player. Obviously, Mertens or Lukaku, so it's never going to happen. But he's held up the ball twice there. De Bruyne's got a shot off, and so I'm not saying they're going to win, but I mean it's already having an effect on the contest. I do remember 4 years ago I thought De Bruyne got a little bit overexcited when they were losing to France. He was almost trying to single-handedly do it. I think he's got to use his teammates more a little bit. I know that was 4 years ago, but he just looked, I've got to do everything, otherwise it's not going to get done. There's still a long time to go in this game, relatively speaking. A bit of composure. That was an ambitious strike. We know he's capable, but he doesn't need to do that all the time.
Yeah, of course, the Belgian camp reportedly hasn't been the happiest over recent days. De Bruyne is saying the team were too old to win this tournament. Might not even get through to the knockout stages as things stand. They need a win, and they're drawing 0-0 with Croatia, who only need a point to go through, and it is Zlatko Dalic's side coming forward down the left-hand side. Sosa, dangerous ball towards the far post, just too far ahead of Kramaric, who will keep it in play over on the far side. He's got time to turn as well. Looks to tee up Juranovic. Modric involved on that side of the pitch as well. Modric will play it back out to Juranovic, who's getting towards the byline. Low cross into the box, cut out by Witsel. Croatia will be able to gather possession once again, and it's their turn to have a bit of sustained play inside Belgium's territory. It's Vardiol on the halfway line. He'll work it across to Borna Sosa once more. He clips a ball into the middle. It's brought down by Livaya. Belgium claimed by an arm. Referee says play on. And the ball is teed up for the strike from Brozovic that is just about smuggled away by Thibaut Courtois. Not the most convincing save Croatia knocking on the door once again.
Yeah, I mean, they just put a great ball in, I thought, from Sosa. This time they worked it into a shooting position. It's a decent save. Again, you'd probably say it's one you'd expect Courtois to make, but it's a dangerous game if you're Belgium, knowing that you've got to win this game. Letting them shoot from the edge of the box. Maybe they'll allow Brozovic to run a little bit too easily because the defender was behind him, so didn't have to beat him. Modric is into the box again, onto his left foot. He goes for goal and he's denied low to his right by Courtois. It still hasn't gone out the 18-yard box. Sosa on the overlap, dinks it to the far post this time, but it's over everybody. And just as we thought Lukaku was making a difference, all of a sudden Croatia, two shots that needed saving.
Yeah, Thibaut Courtois, who's made some crucial saves in this competition already, coming to Belgium's rescue once more, denying first Brozovic and then Modric. Modric looking to come forward again for Croatia, who've got the bit between their teeth. His cutback is intercepted by Witsel, again scrambled upfield by Belgium, and that's what Romelu Lukaku brings as well as goals. He's got great hold-up play, manages to get Belgium on the ball, at least temporarily. Doing their best actually to lose it, the Red Devils, but Anthony Taylor has given them a free kick. Witsel has been fouled 30 yards or so from his own goal, but good from Croatia. Again, we mentioned it in the first half. Probably when we get to the final 25-30 minutes, that's where they start sitting more and more back, and you'd expect Belgium to start dominating, but for the time being they're showing plenty of ambition.
Yeah, obviously if they get the goal, I'm not going to say it's game over because Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku in the opposition ranks, that would be risky, but if they get a goal, that's a poor layout from the halfway line from Trossard. They've got the bit between their teeth there, Croatia. They're coming forward again. You'd be worried for Belgium, but Courtois is as good as any out there, and he's made a couple of key saves. Might not have had his best game against Morocco, but I guess Belgium will just be hoping that was the exception rather than the rule, because he had a great game against Canada, in truth. Saved a penalty as well, but it's Croatia on top.
Yeah, they're looking to come forward once again. Kramaric and Perisic have temporarily swapped wings. It's Sosa who's looking to break down the left-hand side, and he was convinced that the last touch, or at least he was trying to convince the referee that the last touch came off a Belgian player and it should have been a corner, but Anthony Taylor, not buying it, gives a goal kick, and judging by the facial expression of Borna Sosa, that appears to be the right decision. We're just over 10 minutes into this second half then. This World Cup Group F encounter, still Croatia 0, Belgium 0. I'll reiterate, Belgium need to win to go through, with Morocco leading against Canada. Croatia, a draw would be good enough. As it stands, they're going through as group runners-up, and Morocco will actually win the section. The winner of this group plays the runner-up from the Spain, Germany, Japan and Costa Rica group, and the runner-up will play the winner of that group, as Belgium are preparing another change early in this second half, and Hazard is coming on. It's not Eden, no, Rob, it's going to be Torgan who's going to be introduced pretty imminently.
Yeah, well, I can't remember the last time Eden was fit, so I might save him for the last 10. It's got to be Carrasco, hasn't it? Carrasco hasn't done an awful lot in this game. Trossard hasn't done much in this second half so far, but he's probably more influential in the first. So I'm thinking Carrasco. He did play as kind of a left wing back, Torgan Hazard, the other day against Morocco. Obviously not very well, but he might have less defensive responsibility today. But Croatia still probably just on top. Obviously they're forcing saves. You wouldn't say a massively clear-cut chance, but pressure might tell. It's a poor cross from Sosa. It's claimed by Courtois. Another opportunity goes begging. But for me, it's got to be Carrasco, because I don't think he's had a great game.
Yeah, Trossard's at least been busy. He's not always got everything right. He's just given the ball away. But they're actually the Brighton man, but he's tried to get involved. Carrasco has been very quiet on that left-hand side as Sosa gets the ball for Croatia. He's got forward regularly at the start of this second half. His quality's not always been there, but seems to be a man that keeps finding himself in space as he drives forward again. The number 19, helped out by Perisic, who's back on the left-hand side. He's stood up by Mounier. Perisic not happy with the movement in front of him. Demonstrates with his teammates as Belgium are going to make this change, but it's not going to be Yannick Carrasco. It's going to be Leandro Trossard. He has given the ball away twice quite cheaply on the halfway line over recent minutes, so I don't know if that's influenced the final decision, but he's coming off just short of the hour mark, and Hazard is coming on.
Yeah, well, I suppose Trossard hasn't exactly been Martinez's go-to guy, has he, in the tournament? I don't think either has played overly well, but I thought Trossard was at least lively in the first half, not so much in the second, granted. But I mean, I don't think Carrasco has done anything more than him in this second half, so it's take your pick, I guess. Had to change somebody. We know it's not going to be De Bruyne. Maybe Carrasco will just be given a more freer role. That could be quite a fluid front three, although it looks to be Hazard playing on the left, so I'm not sure who exactly is going to play on the right. Who's going to give that width to Belgium on the right? Might just rely on Meunier.
Yeah, Belgium could have changed both their wide men. They've got Jeremy Doku on the bench, who had a good Euros last summer. Exciting Lois Openda is on there as well, more of a striker, but having a really good season with Lons in Ligue 1 as Perisic. That's a decent ball into the box for Croatia, but no takers in a red and white shirt. Courtois can easily gather. Brought forward now by Axel Witsel. Likes of Charles de Catelaire and Michy Batshuayi on the bench as well for Belgium. They're not short of alterations that they can bring on in an attacking sense. Still two substitution windows that Roberto Martinez can work in. He's used one with the change there, but the one with Lukaku coming on at half time doesn't count. That's a free hit, if you like, for managers to make alterations. Belgium in possession then. Jan Vertonghen inside the centre circle, just shifts it forward towards Leander Dendoncker, and now De Bruyne in a pocket of space, rolls a nice ball into Carrasco, takes a touch, dances into the penalty area, denied by Livakovic. Lukaku hits the post, 8 yards out. The goal was begging. Romelu Lukaku puts his hands to his face. That was the moment, surely, for Belgium to get their noses in front.
This is why he kept Carrasco on, isn't it? I mean, it's a great ball from De Bruyne. I don't think Lovren knew exactly what was behind it, but Carrasco's made the run. He's ahead of the defender. It was a brilliant sort of block, smuggling it away from danger, but of course Lukaku's on the follow-up. Should he have scored, he's got to get it round the defender, and the keeper's thrown himself across. He's a little bit unlucky. I don't think it's as easier a chance in the sense... He's got it massively wrong because it's the inside of the post. If you're going back to the Mertens finish in the first half, that was just way over the bar. I think he's a little bit unlucky there because the defender and the keeper are throwing themselves in the way. It's a matter of centimetres. Yeah,
he is unlucky. It's a really clean strike. Had Mertens connected with the shot he had in the first half like that, he definitely would have found the back of the net. But he's got to try and whip it around the defender, Lukaku, and Livakovic, who quickly reacts to get back to his feet and get across. It's Vardiol, the defender, in front of Lukaku. So he's got to try and whip it around both of those two, and it clips the inside of the post. Could still, it looked like it was going to just bounce across into the opposite corner of the net, off the upright. It didn't know, which was agonising for Lukaku and Belgium, but it might just give them a kick to really get going in this second half, and certainly it will be a warning sign for Croatia. Dendoncker has it for Belgium. Are their tails now going to be up? He moves it out to the right hand side where Meunier is hugging the touchline. I've seen him get forward too often in this game. Works it back to Alderweireld. Vertonghen will try their arm down the left hand side now. Belgium. Castagna into Carrasco's feet, round the corner. Nice ball into the path of De Bruyne. Has he kept it in with his left-footed cross? Oh, there's confusion at the back for Croatia. Livakovic came for the ball. It was taken out of his hands by a defender. And was that Romelu Lukaku who got the last touch? An open goal. He sends the header over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, I mean, this is more disappointing, isn't it? Because it's not as... the ball had gone out of play, actually, looking at it slow. I don't know whether it was given, but the ball crossed the goal line before De Bruyne got the cross in. So you could use that as an excuse, maybe, because that might have got chalked off. Does VAR look at that? I don't know. But that's a big chance. And all of a sudden, Croatia... I mean, I thought at the start of the second half that they didn't look solid at the back, simply because of the big hulking presence that is Lukaku. But now De Bruyne's getting into the box, making the runs. He's getting down the channel. Carrasco's just done it moments ago. Belgium have stepped up. Arguably, it's come 2.5 games too late. But they might still win this. They're looking the more dangerous right now, but let's not forget Croatia had 2 decent chances themselves.
Yeah, and it's Croatia coming forward. Sosa again in space, feeds it into the feet of Kramaric, who's trying to turn. He's got 3 or 4 bodies around him in red, so has to work out to Modric. Modric will clip it out towards the left-hand side, but the Ball was read by Meunier, who heads it away from Perisic and out of play for a throw-in. Croatia have been on the back foot for the last few minutes, and they're going to respond by making a double change of their own. Mario Pasalic is the first player who's going to come on, and Bruno Petkovic, the striker, is the other. It's Livaya and Kramaric who are going to come off. They scored 3 of the 4 goals for Croatia against Canada, haven't been as influential in this game. Petkovic will go up front, the Dinamo Zagreb striker. Pasalic is more of a midfielder, playing his club football at Atalanta, a former Chelsea player. Can play a little bit more attacking, but it is a sign maybe that Croatia are going to go a little bit more defensive, and Livaya and Kramaric are the 2 players to go off.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 chances, I don't know whether these 2 players that have come on would have affected those 2 chances for Belgium, but if you were looking at this Croatia side, you'd probably think their one weakness is up top. I don't know what Levaya's done in this game, probably as much as Dries Mertens, without getting that gilt-edged opportunity. Kramaric worked well against Canada, but Belgium are a better side in theory, and he just hasn't got as involved. Here come Croatia.
Yeah, looking to get forward down the left-hand side. It's in from Kovacic to Petkovic, who at 6'4" will provide Belgium, you'd imagine, with more of a physical presence in the penalty area. Cross into the box from Sosa, straight into the gloves of Courtois, who's very keen to get on with proceedings. You can feel the tempo is being lifted in this game. Long ball forward to find Kevin De Bruyne for Belgium. He'll drift back into his own half and just roll it back into the feet of Jan Vertonghen. Witsel will take over. He edges it up towards the halfway line. We've got 25 minutes plus stoppage time left to play in this game. We're bringing you independent off-tube studio commentary. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. As it stands, Croatia are going through to the knockout stages, and Belgium will be eliminated. They need to win this game. Roberto Martinez's side. A draw is good enough for Croatia. These 2 teams, European heavyweights that both got through to the last 4 of the World Cup in Russia 4.5 years ago. Croatia went all the way to the final where they were beaten by France, but for one of them, with Morocco leading against Canada, a World Cup campaign this time around is going to end prematurely in the group stages. Meunier looking to make sure that's not Belgium. Carries the ball forward. He's got support from Dendoncker on the right hand side. Now into Kevin De Bruyne, who's trying to pull the strings in the middle of the park. He certainly had a more influential involvement in this second half than he did in the first, the Manchester City midfielder, but possession has been lost by Belgium, and there's a scything challenge from Dendoncker, who's going to become the first player to go into Anthony Taylor's notebook.
Well, I think Dendoncker made that challenge on Kovacic in the first half, didn't he? I mean, I would say looking at a replay, it's easy. I mean, it's easy with the slow-mo, etc. I don't think there's literally any contact at all, but because he's lunged and Kovacic is there, it's a yellow card. But Kovacic has gone down for me with no contact. I think it's a bit harsh to give a yellow card for that. Here goes Gvardiol on a run. He hasn't got much support at the moment. Might not need it as he rounds Alderweireld.
Well, he could have kept going there, couldn't he? He looked like he'd done the second defender as well, but chose to recycle the ball, Josko Gvardiol. Makes his way back into his defensive position. Croatia will continue with the attack down the left-hand side. It's Brozovic in possession. Rush really to get it forward from Croatia's point of view. Gvardiol involved once more. Back into Brozovic. Now Kovacic will take over and carry the ball towards the corner of the penalty area. He feeds it into Petkovic. A lovely turn from Bruno Petkovic. Can he deliver a cross? It's towards Modric on the edge of the area, who gets a shot away, but it's claimed. And a dive to the left-hand side of Thibaut Courtois. Comfortable save in the end, but good build-up play from Croatia.
Yeah, good build-up play. I thought they were going to be super negative there, but it just suckered it in Belgium. Then they worked it nicely. The ball just didn't quite come down to Modric. He had to sort of sprint to get there, a bouncing ball between defenders, and it just wouldn't come down so he could get a powerful strike. He's hit the target. Courtois made the save, but as you said, quite comfortable in truth. But that's danger for Belgium. They haven't quite committed yet to going forward. It's been a good response from Croatia in the sense that obviously Belgium hit the woodwork and had that other good chance as well. But yeah, it's been a good response from Croatia, and Belgium haven't quite been able to sustain the pressure. As we say, Belgium need to win.
It seems to be swinging the momentum one way or another. One team has 5 minutes spell and the other one takes over. We are into the final quarter of the contest now. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Belgium coming forward once again. De Bruyne has crossed though straight into the gloves of Livakovic, so that gives me the perfect opportunity to hand over to Rob, who will take you through to the full-time whistle, where we will find out whether Croatia or Belgium will be going through to the knockout stages.
It is, Tom. Morocco, of course, still leading 2-1 against Canada, so they're top of the group as things stand. And at the moment, it's Croatia who are progressing. Do you want to play Germany or Spain? That's probably what's going to happen. Of course, the other groups, that group is completing this evening, bringing you both of those commentaries as Spain take on Japan, Costa Rica face Germany. All four still with a chance of going through to the knockout stages. Three of the sides, of course, playing today had a chance. Canada didn't. They're trying to make a game of it against Morocco, but our focus is on this one as Croatia just on top once again. It's been a nip and tuck game. Obviously, Belgium have been denied by the woodwork. Maybe Lukaku should have scored. I think he was just a little bit unlucky. Could be one of those tournaments for Belgium. You would say, just given the fact that they have hit the woodwork, it's been their best game so far in the tournament, despite having beaten Canada, as Carrasco's won a free kick inside his own half. So a chance for Belgium to relieve their pressure. That's been sort of building. Courtois has made 3 or 4 saves, but we both think they're pretty comfortable saves, and he'd save them 99 times out of 100, if not more, as Belgium still huffing and puffing. They're running out of time. They've made a couple of changes. Lukaku is the man who's hit the woodwork. Hasn't exactly been heavily involved in the action, but of course he's the tip of the spear, as it were, waiting for the opportunities to come. It's with Meunier. Belgium at the moment can't pass it out of their own half, quite content to use their defenders to go from left to right. Seems to be needlessly taking up a little bit of time, Tom. Have they not seen the clock?
Well, yeah, I mean, this has been a criticism of Belgium, one of the many criticisms in this tournament, as Meunier does get a cross into the box, but it's easily claimed by Livakovic. They just don't move the ball quick enough, and not only that, there's just not enough pace in the team. And I haven't seen that Jeremy Doku was about to come on, but I was about to make the point. They need someone like him who has genuine pace in the wide areas to just inject something into this game. So Roberto Martinez is going to make that alteration. Yuri Tielemans is stripped and ready for action as well. But this is an overdue change.
Yeah, I would hazard a guess that Dendonka might be one of the players coming off. Croatia on the attack with Brozovic. He's got Perisic in space on the left-hand side of his onside. He is. Low cross in, doesn't beat Alderweireld near post, and it's turned away for a Croatia throw. Just about level with the edge of the 18-yard box, left-hand side. A chance for those changes to be made. Tielemans and Doku about to enter the fray. I'm going to say Dendonka. Well, Carrasco stayed on the field, but not for much longer. He's the other player, so it's Dendonka and Carrasco that have gone on. Doku and Tielemans to come on. Dendonka was playing in midfield rather than back three, so I guess it's pretty much like for like.
Yeah, just a pacier winger in Doku coming on for Carrasco and a more creative midfield. So same formation from Belgium, but more positive personnel in those areas.
Might offer the opportunities for Croatia though, should they have as much ball for the remaining 18 minutes plus stoppage time as they've had for maybe the last 5-10 minutes. As Bardial's going on another one of those runs, he just overruns it and has to hack it downfield. It's come back into the Croatia half, but Sosa's first ahead of Lukaku. Now's a fight for the ball, aerially speaking. Witsel rather hopefully heads it forward. Bardial beats Lukaku to the ball again, and Lovren has it at his feet. Lukaku sort of giving chase. It's a slice clearance somewhat by Lovren, straight into touch, and it's a Belgian throw halfway inside their own half.
Yeah, the problem Belgium have got is Croatia can just keep the ball. I mean, there's arguably not a better team at keeping the ball, midfield at keeping the ball at these finals than what Croatia have, with Modric, Kovacic and Brozovic in there. They get through a lot of work they're masterclasses at keeping the ball, passing it around, and if they need to run down the clock and frustrate Belgium, that's what they'll do. Belgium need to find a way of keeping the ball themselves and making something of it when they actually have it.
Yeah, the other game, incidentally, still 2-1 Morocco. It's actually a couple of minutes behind this game. So when this full-time whistle goes, that's given away at the back. Tielemans, though, in his desperation to get it to Lukaku early, has only played it to Gvardiol. Sousa clears downfield. It is flicked on by Petkovic, but nobody's beyond him. He's told to get up despite appeals for a free kick. Looked as though Alderweireld kind of leaning in his back, if not giving him a little push. But he wasn't holding up the ball there, Petkovic, either way. Whether that means it shouldn't have been a free kick is people's interpretation. Ball into the box from Belgium, way over the head of Lukaku, and that's through to Livakovic. Who do we think's more nervous in the crowd? You can't say that any one of the Croatia or Belgian fans are relaxed and enjoying this game.
I think in a strange sort of way this is more nervy to watch as a Croatia fan, because you know you've got everything to lose and it is on such a knife edge, whereas Belgium, they can just focus, we need to go for it, and just keep knocking on that door, and if it doesn't happen then it's disappointment. As Croatia, they will have so many regrets if they do end up losing this one late on and missing out on a place in the last 16 as a result. As we say, Morocco are looking like they're going to go through. If they win that game, they'll top the group as well, unless Croatia score in this one. So the pressure, as we keep stating, is really on these two sides.
Yeah, Belgium do need a little bit more though, even if Canada were to get a goal back and make that a draw, because Belgium's goal difference is not better than either Croatia or Morocco as things stand. Croatia on the attack, pulled back towards the penalty spot, it's just blocked off by Tielemans. I don't think that was a deliberate back pass, so Courtois has allowed to come and pick it up. 15 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Doku's on possession already, looks lively with that jinking run. He is inside his own half at the moment, though. As Belgium, I still don't think have quite committed themselves to fully going for the goal that might see them through to the next round. Perhaps wary that they only need one, and they've got some quality on the pitch to create that one. Here is Doku, now in the Croatia half, down the left-hand side. 3 in the box to aim for. One is Munier, but he can't get his cross beyond Juranovic, and Modric will coolly take his time before picking out a pass. Kovacic on the edge of the box. Now Juranovic is bringing it clear. Can he work a 1-2? No, Vertonghen stepped in. No foul, says Anthony Taylor, the referee. Belgium come back on the front foot. Edge of the box. Strong challenge comes in from Gvardiol on 2 players. It's still worked to the way of Hazard. Now De Bruyne can't nutmeg his first pass, but he will the second. Out to Tielemans, cross in towards the near post. Gvardiol heads clear, finds Juranovic as well, and now Brozovic again can show a little bit of composure. It's not just hack downfield, hope for the best. It's let's find a teammate. Although in the end, Perisic plays it off the legs of Tielemans, and it will be a throw into Croatia inside their own half.
Gvardiol's had a really good game at the back for Croatia, just 20 years of age, the RB Leipzig centre-back, but he's got his head on everything. He's got important tackles, blocks in, and he looks a really accomplished player, carrying the ball out from the back as well. I know he's very highly rated, Gvardiol. He's really showing his class in this game.
Torgan Hazard just can't get behind Sousa after a little flick from Lukaku. Now the break is on. It's 2-on-2. The support isn't coming for Croatia, but Perisic is still going. He's into the D. He's faking about shooting over. Tonga gets a challenge in. He just took too long to make up his mind there. And now the break is on the other way with Doku already inside the Croatia half. 25 yards from goal. De Bruyne's to his left, coming infield, right-footed cross towards the far post. Keeper game didn't get there, and Sousa heads it behind for a corner kick. This game is starting to get a little bit more end-to-end, as we might expect, or have expected. Perisic wasted an opportunity to shoot the other end. Belgium aren't wasting much time getting the ball into the box. We haven't seen many set pieces. There's one here for Belgium. Torgan Hazard will deliver it from the right. Looks like an away swinger from the right footer, and it is towards the far post for Tongan challenging. Did it come off Pasalic last? No, it came off the Tongan, say the officials, and that is just a goal kick.
Yeah, and he reacts like someone who is convinced he didn't get the the last touch. He goes up there, and it's kind of a double ricochet, isn't it, off the defender, backing the penalty as well as Pasalic, who put the challenge in. Tongan incensed he didn't get the corner. Goal kick is what is given, but the game is really, it's stretched, isn't it? You sense there's a goal in it. Don't want to give it the kiss of the death too much, particularly for Belgium supporters, but it does feel like there's a goal. It's whether Belgium can get it or Croatia potentially on the counter-attack. They've shown a threat and could easily nick one themselves.
Croatia, goal kick downfield. Petkovic and Witsel don't really jump for the ball. Perisic will, but Alderweireld clears up to the halfway line. Lovren's there though for Croatia. Now Modric is bringing it forward for the Vitrini. Left-footed out to the left-hand side. It's Perisic. Sosa's coming up on the overlap. Perisic gets a left-footed cross in, and that's a late challenge away at the far post. It was headed clear. It was headed clear well by Castagnet. I think Torgan Hazard has actually kept it in. Croatia were a little bit nonchalant there, thinking the ball would go out. For a moment I thought Pasalic arriving far post was going to get a free header, but credit to Castagnet with a great defensive block. Looking at the fans in the crowd, it's independent unofficial off-tube studio commentary. I think Tom's right. Croatia fans look a lot more nervous than the Belgian ones, even though Belgium probably, well, a one-goal win, of course, would see them usurp Croatia in the group. So they only need to win by one. A draw not really good enough for Belgium, with Morocco leading. And of course Croatia need a goal to top the group unless Morocco are pegged back. So you could argue both sides could go for it. Offside given against Croatia here. Perisic was trying to run round the back, but didn't arc his run well enough, and it's a free kick to Belgium. But there is the threat of a goal at both ends, although I still don't think Belgium are desperate enough. There's 10 minutes to go of a World Cup. I don't think they're desperate enough.
No, they're not throwing the kitchen sink, and again there's a lot of slow passing inside their own half, which is allowing Croatia to get set and to get back into position, and it's making it a lot harder as a result for Belgium to try and play their way through. Whether that's just the defensive players, the centre-backs being too slow on the ball, or a lack of movement in front, it's probably a combination in all truth, and but Belgium, they need to do more.
Sosa down the left-hand side, this time coming in field. The pressure is slow. Kovacic goes on the overlap. It's often been Perisic, but he's playing a little bit more centrally. Ball hasn't come into the middle, and Croatia are going away from goal at the moment. Kovacic trying to get away from the would-be tacklers of Munier. There's space on the right for Juranovic. It was good running field to create that space. He's tried to pull it back. There was two on the edge of the 6-yard box. It was cleared. Kovacic has got the loose ball though ahead of De Bruyne, and Croatia still on the attack with Modric. Two in the box, 3 or 4 lurking outside. They are pressing for a goal themselves. Of course, as I say, they need to score to go through as group winners. It's with Gvardiol near the centre circle now. He's bringing it forward. They're quite happy for him to bring it forward. He's into the box. He's tackled it out to the left-hand side, and Sosa probably caught in two minds there. It's cleared by Munier into touch, but it is a Croatia throw. Gvardiol is slow to get up, and he might just have been clipped there. I think it's an impact injury rather than anything more serious. But again, Croatia in the ascendancy, and this time is ticking. 8.5 minutes to go. When do we think? Am I wrong in thinking the kitchen sink's coming? They need the ball back first. There is Perisic trying to work the 1-2 at the edge of the box. He slipped as he went for the return pass. It's through to Courtois, and Belgium have possession back. Kitchen sink now?
Surely. It almost feels too lethargic though from Belgium to throw the kitchen sink. They're just lacking energy, aren't they? They've got one more substitution up their sleeve. I mean, surely it's worth throwing on a Batshuayi, a De Ketelaere. There's options. Eden Hazard could come on. They've got to try something. There's a long ball forward from Torgan Hazard. Oh, and Gvardiol cuts it out and sends it straight back to his own goalkeeper. Belgium want they're appealing for a back pass. Anthony Taylor immediately signals that is not the case. But yeah, we are reaching that time. They've got to pump the ball forward to Lukaku, get bodies around him, and try something.
The break is on for Pasalic, and Croatia hasn't quite got the pace to get away from Castagnet. Wants some support. Little step over. It could be an opportunity for Brozovic. No, it was just taken away from him by Vertonghen in the end. Cleared into the Croatia half. Lovren's kept it in. It's helped down the line by Juranovic. Not before it had gone out of play though, and it is a throw-in to Belgium on the halfway line. As we had another look at the supposed back pass. It could easily have been a back pass, I guess, but sliding on the volley. You'd perhaps be right in thinking he wasn't deliberate. He's played it back to the keeper, but they looked stretched for a moment. I wouldn't say Gvardiol was panicking there, but he was fully aware that Lukaku was bearing down on his shoulder, and he had to deal with that ball as Belgium are running out of time. 6.5 minutes to go, plus obviously stoppage time. They still need just the one goal. One goal will do it, providing they don't concede. Morocco is still beating Canada. A draw is still no good for Belgium, even if Canada equalised. It's Doku on the left for Belgium. One-on-one with Juranovic. He goes round Juranovic, tries to pull it back. It's headed away by Brozovic. A lot of the crosses from Croatia have not quite been good enough, and Kasnier is just a little bit too forceful on Luka Modric. That'll be a free kick to Croatia just outside their own box, and the last throw of the dice for Belgium. You didn't mention him 2 minutes ago. Eden Hazard's coming on.
Yeah, the kitchen sink is being introduced, Robert. Eden Hazard going to have a little over 5 minutes plus stoppage time to try and influence things. I've just been doing the maths in my head. We've mentioned the draw is not good enough for Belgium. It would be good enough if Canada score 5 goals in the last 5 minutes. I think we can rule that one out.
Yeah, I'm just wondering who might come off for Eden Hazard. I mean, I'd be tempted to take off Witsel or one of the two centre halves, but I'm not sure Martinez wants to be that adventurous. There's only 5 minutes to go, loads of time. It's only a World Cup at stake. Gvardiol wanted the keeper to come, and that's a poor clearance because the keeper didn't come. De Bruyne has it right into the box, cross into the side netting. I think it was deflected off Gvardiol. I don't know what Livakovic was doing there, because it was a bouncy ball. He had acres of time, if that is indeed a phrase, loads of time. But he just let Gvardiol deal with it. Gvardiol is facing his goal. I think the keeper should have taken charge. It's a late corner for Belgium out of nothing, really. And it's De Bruyne who's going to deliver it in towards the mixer. It's come off the head of Vertonghen. I think the jump of Pasalic in front of him forced him to take his eye off it. It certainly was a meaningful header. And Croatia, that corner actually came to nothing, but then caught in possession is Juranovic. That was a bit too nonchalant from the fullback, and now Belgium have it back inside the Croatia half. 4.5 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. There might be loads. Eden Hazard hasn't come on yet, of course, for Belgium. Meunier is bringing it forward down the right-hand side with Doku switching flanks. Possibly after that corner. Hasn't quite beaten his man as yet. Trying to work in tandem with Meunier. Still has it Doku onto his left, going across the edge of the 18-yard box, giving a semblance of a push from Sosa, told to get up. Belgium still have it. It's swung in from the far post, and it's headed away by Sosa. Volley comes back in, took a deflection wide of the post. I think it came off Gvardiol last. A lot of bodies back there for the keeper to try and negotiate. It could have been a little bit unfortunate, but Meunier, free shot. Did that hit Lukaku? Was it an attempted shot? It went through the legs of Gvardiol. I thought it came off Gvardiol, but it actually came off Lukaku last. That wasn't that far wide of the post. Another near miss. Yeah,
unlucky for Lukaku. I think he's trying to get his leg out of the way, or just react in some sort of way to deflect it towards goal. He just didn't quite have the time. Eden Hazard is now on. He assumes the captain's armband as well. Meunier's been poor in this game, certainly from an offensive point of view. He's off, and Hazard on another attacking change. And as we mentioned, Rob, the kitchen sink is now being thrown.
Clearance by Lovren is charged away by De Bruyne. It has gone out for a throw-in, though, to Croatia. Admittedly deep inside at their own half. It's still goalless, and as things stand, Morocco winning the group, Croatia second, Belgium bowing out. But obviously, Croatia might just be thinking about protecting 0-0 than winning the game themselves. Getting through their group, of course, is top priority, not necessarily winning it. As Belgium win the ball back. 2.5 minutes of the 90 to go. And there have been chances for Belgium. There have been chances for both sides. It's probably been a better second half than first. Courtois made a few saves, but maybe Belgium have been a little bit wasteful. Lukaku has hit the post. He was unlucky. as Doku turns his man. He's just clipped by Pasalic, and this will be a free kick to Belgium on the halfway inside the Croatia half, a little bit closer to the 18-yard box actually, but too far out to go for goal directly. It's right on the touchline. Even for Kevin De Bruyne, this isn't the angle to be shooting. Can he supply the ammunition? He's taken it short to Doku, but he's just been told to pull it back. Anthony Taylor is trying to stop the jostling. Belgium, of course, are furious because Doku is in behind Pasalic there, and that avenue surely has gone now. The referee, of course, in every match I've seen, every set piece has to have a word with every player, so it's not surprised. De Bruyne lifts it into the box, but it's far too close for Livakovic. Makes a comfortable claim, and we've got a little over a minute of the 90 to go.
Yeah, that free kick, Lukaku's deflection that sent the ball wide, it doesn't feel like it's going to be Belgium's day, does it? There will be a significant amount of stoppage time. There always is at this World Cup, but I am struggling to see Belgium creating a clear goal-scoring opportunity that they can then go on to take. It looks like it's going to be Croatia and Morocco going through.
Perisic has it down the left as well. He almost overran it, but he's done well enough to win it back. Sosa's beaten one, he's beaten two, he's beaten three. No, Alderweireld stuck out a boot. Now Belgium have it back into the final minute of the 90. Obviously, we talked about stoppage time. There's probably going to be loads of it. There's been substitutions. I wouldn't think there's been any stoppages in the game. Haven't been any injuries or VAR check. Here is Doku down the left-hand side. Croatia, lots of bodies back. Doku into the box. He's beaten one. Can he create the space? No, he just lacked a little bit of control. It's still come out to Torgan Hazard. His touch takes it wide. Far post. Bundled in. No, it's saved by the keeper. Lukaku didn't get the touch. Is that the best chance that... I mean, it's a simple chance. It's inside the 6-yard box. It's probably the wrong height. He couldn't head it. He couldn't use his boot. He just tried to use his sheer body weight. He didn't get enough. Livakovic has made the save.
Oh, it's brilliant from Belgium initially. Doku and Torgan Hazard. Hazard's cross from the right-hand side. He digs it out. It's over Livakovic. It's over Lovren, who goes for the ball. Maybe puts Lukaku off. But all it seemingly had to do was get his body, any kind of touch on the ball, and he was scoring, but somehow it comes off his chest, his stomach, and goes away from the goal. Agonising for Romelu Lukaku and Belgium. He's had 3-4 really good opportunities since coming on, but his luck just hasn't been in, and again, it just doesn't feel like it's going to be Belgium's night.
Yeah, it's difficult to say that was match fitness. He's inside this. He's about 2 yards off the goal line. I think he wanted to control it. I don't know what he was trying to do. There's only going to be 4 minutes of stoppage time. That's a little bit unusual, but there really hasn't been that many stoppages rather, other than substitutions. So it's understandable. It's just unexpected at this World Cup. There's going to be a change though for Croatia. Just to take a little bit of time off the clock. Kovacic is the man who's making way. He's been full of running. Just looking at the last attack, of course, where it hits. I mean, Lukaku's caught in probably 3 different minds there. I don't know why Livakovic didn't actually claim it. It didn't look to be too far away from him, and then Lovren missed his header. None of that would have perhaps done Lukaku any good. Didn't quite see who came on for Croatia, but a change it was made. It's just been confirmed now. Kovacic has gone off, and it's Maya who's come on. Doku down the left for Belgium. Is there one last opportunity? Cross comes in towards the 6-yard box. Oh, it's scrambled clear. Oh, it's just taken off Lukaku's toes by Gvardiol. It's with Doku, left edge of the box. Croatia hanging on a little bit. Doku's cross is cleared back to him. He's fallen onto the ball. Is that obstruction? Croatia can't quite clear their lines. Everybody's appealing for decisions. What a tackle that was from Gvardiol moments ago. Croatia want this full-time whistle, but there's still at least 2 minutes to go. Belgium are throwing the kitchen sink.
They are, and again they've come agonisingly close. It looked like this time Romelu Lukaku, the ball was going to fall from him and he was going to score, but Gvardiol with a superb lunging challenge. He's my man of the match by a considerable way in this game. Brilliant defending from the young centre-back. A tournament-saving challenge, never mind a match-saving challenge for Croatia.
Yeah, Lukaku, he's 4 yards out on that occasion. Just as he's meeting the ball, it was towed away from him by Gvardiol. And that's a brilliant challenge. Right in front of the goalkeeper, 4 yards out. Lukaku's not going to be denied there, you wouldn't have thought. But that just means more time on the clock. Eden Hazard's gone early towards Lukaku, but that's intercepted by none other than Gvardiol. And Maya picks it up before going all the way back to Livakovic as Croatia just try and see this game out. They've been hanging on the last 5 minutes or so. Two really big chances for Belgium, no doubt about it. Hit and hope down the line from Croatia, and it might have already gone out of play, so this is going to come back. We're into the final minute of the 4th minute of stoppage time. That was the minimum to be added on. Of course, Croatia have made a change, so there might be a little bit more, but it's really all or nothing now for Belgium. Get it up there, see what happens. Launched to the edge of the box, headed away though by Lovren. Brozovic helps it further downfield. Maya caught in possession though. Then there's a fight for the second ball. Brozovic brings it down under a little bit of pressure. It's not a great ball to Sosa, but he should at least clear his lines and does so up towards the halfway line. Headed back by Alderweireld, only onto the chest of Modric, who just plays it down the corner. And there is a chance for Petkovic, who's brought the ball down, if nothing else, and take the ball off. He squared it in towards Maya, but back there retreating was, I think that was Castagnier. Brilliant recovery, because he was going to go in to the back of there. But that is the full-time whistle. 2 seconds before the 4, when a substitute was made in that 4 minutes. That might spark a little bit of controversy. There's no doubt about it, though. Belgium had the chances. They didn't take one. It's Croatia who would go through to the knockout stages. Full time, it's finished. Croatia 0, Belgium 0.